Hi, and welcome again to Television Journalism, and this is Module 3. And today we're going to look at the structure of the news story. By now you should have done the three deconstruction exercises. Now they were important. You might think it's dilly-daddling and so forth, but to write out those scripts, you get an idea of the form of television news. The first one on the building crisis will give you an idea how a simple regional story goes about the structure of the story. There's no set way, and different networks you'll find have different terminology. Now, by looking at news bulletins, you should be starting to pick up difference in the stories. The most simple, often called the RVO or reader voiceover, is where the newsreader just reads the story and there's vision in the background. And an RVO with an upshot, and upshot is a term that you will hear in television. That means up, sound on tape. In other words, that comes up. That's the grab. So you will hear the newsreader talking or reading the news, and then it has to be timed perfectly so that the grab comes up. Now that timing is up to the journalist. The journalist writes that story, times it so the newsreader isn't left out. So watch the news and you'll find from time to time, whoops, there's a little gap there, or the upshot comes too early. That's little timing mistakes. So the journalist needs to be aware of the timing rate of the newsreader and to be able to put those together. But it's part of the job. The next step from the RVO, I guess, is the simple story, most often seen on regional television, sometimes, and we'll be seeing later on national television. Quite often that'll only have one interview in it and a bit of overlay about one particular subject. The length of the simple story is usually around 1:15. Then there's the compound story, which again can run from 1:15 through to 1:40. Now this is the recorded time of the story, not including the introduction that the newsreader reads. That's what you write to cover that. So the compound story will have 2 or 3 interviewees, or talent as they're called. And I guess the strongest, I guess, series of stories it's called, they're run when there's a big issue on, whether it be a plane crash, whether it be Peter Beattie coming out, the Bradfield scheme, which we've used. Quite often there'll be 2 or 3 stories on the same subject running, giving it quite a comprehensive look at it. And that's running as a series or a series of packages and so forth. So right now we'll look at this story, and this story has only got one interviewee in it. It was made out in the coalfields by ABC News journalist Bridget Smith. It went to air in 2007, and Bridget, of course, is a tutor at CQU also. So for a start, we'll run the story.
It's a machine, but it's more the size of a factory. One of the world's largest draglines has started work in the central Queensland coalfields. It's taken 300 workers more than 2 years to assemble the mammoth scraper.
This is the latest and greatest toy in Australia's booming coal industry. Weighing in at 7,000 tonnes, the dragline is a machine of staggering proportions.
The bucket that it's got on the end of the boom is 110 cubic metres, which is the equivalent of 3 very large backyard swimming pools.
That means in one scoop, the bucket picks up 250 tonnes of ground, covering the Ensham Mine's coal deposits. And on a productive day, can move 250,000 tonnes.
To give you some kind of indication of just how big this dragline really is, if you were to lay the 110-metre boom down flat, the dragline would barely fit into the MCG.
Ensham Resources produces 9 million tonnes of coal a year. But to mine that amount, 250 million tonnes of ground must first be cleared by the draglines. Management says without the $100 million investment, the life of the mine would be cut short.
As the mine is getting more mature, the coal seam is getting deeper, and it would have become uneconomic to mine the coal with the existing equipment that was here in a short period of time.
Proving that in this business, bigger is better. Bridget Smith, ABC News, Comet.